What up? What up? What up? What up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your man Jelani JB Bodie, host of this thing called the Wait a Minute Show. Back in the building once again, giving out sports fixes, right? Sports fixes here, there, all that stuff each and every week. So each and every week we come on here, we talk to you, and we ask you to do your due diligence. What is that? That is like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, all that good stuff. Make sure you are following the show, sharing the show as well. We would appreciate that. But before I get into anything that we're going to talk about, and we got a few things that has transpired over the weekend. Big Mo is in the building. So Mo, what up? What up, though?
What up, JB?
Man, I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now. I'm going to start this thing off this way. Last week,
Okay.
you need to watch the show if you didn't. Last week, Mo was telling me, because I told Mo, I said, hey, I'm going out in the streets, bro. I'm going out in the streets. And Mo told me, hey, when you go out there, be careful. Because folks is, and he kind of stopped right there, but he was just saying, be careful, right? And I told him the only problem was he shouldn't have been giving me that advice. You should have gave that CEO the advice. That's who you should have gave the advice to.
Okay.
Be careful out in those streets because everybody has been talking about this dude, the HR lady, Coldplay. I mean, all the memes. It is bananas. And when I saw it, I said, Mo told me, and that wasn't for me though. That was really for him. Be careful when you go out in the street.
Put it in the atmosphere because listen, I thought you was finna go ahead and just, concede that win over to me for the countdown that we did for the top 5. That's why I'm celebrating. But when you said that, I'm like, okay, yeah, I don't know what they were thinking. I don't, bro. And I'm gonna say this: you keep it moving. Mm-hmm. You know that it was a stadium full of a whole lot of other people in that same situation, and it's just your luck to get singled out. So be careful when you go outside,
bro. This is not, and no, at no point are we condoning what transpired. We're just speaking on what transpired. There is a unwritten rule, known rule, written rule, rule that anytime they start putting people on camera, you are subjected to be on that screen, especially where you're sitting. Unless you're sitting in the rafters, hanging from the ceiling, that's probably the only place that you got safety there. But looking at where they were sitting, them seats and everything, you are always subjected to be on camera. And it wasn't like they started with them. They were putting other people on camera before they got to you. But nah, you want to get comfortable. You want to get hugged up.
Why did Chris Martin put him on blast like that?
Dude, I really believe
he knew what was going on.
No. I really believe he was joking. When he saw it, he was just like, because he's thinking the same thing the rest of us are thinking. Can't nobody be that stupid.
Well, clearly, he just don't move like that. He don't have to move like that. But
yeah, but
that was bad.
It was bad.
My stomach dropped for them.
Other people are involved that they got to deal with it and all that stuff, family and friends and everything. But it's just like, Mo, that's who you should have been talking to. Maybe, this could have been avoided, or you never know. They still be out there doing what they're doing. But
can you imagine the water cooler conversations that's going on at that job?
Bro, I am not surprised. You know how fast these pictures and everything came out? I am not surprised if someone at that job, because let's just be honest, someone probably like, man, she wrote me up, man, a couple months ago. Wrote me up, son. Oh, I got something for that.
Because she was like an HR director or something, right?
Chief HR or something. HR. So human resource. That's all. That's all you need to know.
You know better. Of all people, you know better. So
you know what? The crazy part about it? It's not. It's. I don't want to say it's plenty of folks, but there's folks in HR that's doing grimy stuff, and it's just like, yeah, you should know better. But sad situation, man. But the internet, as you see, they don't care. They're gonna go ahead and do what it is that
Yeah.
they do.
Yeah, man.
All
That was
right, so
ugly. That was
we're
ugly.
gonna jump off that, man. Let's get to talking to some sports, man. And the first thing that's going down, real quick, before we get into our AFC South talk, is about Rasheed Rice for the Kansas City Chiefs, wide receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs. Recently got sentenced to 30 days in jail. So if you don't know, the whole thing is based in a nutshell. He was out there in a Lambo truck driving, not how you're supposed to be driving, caused some commotion, caused some problems, caused some accidents and everything. And some damage was done. And if I'm correct, he kind of left the scene, right? So you can't do that. Yeah, you can't do any of that. So he gets to 30 days. I guess they worked it out. That's what he's gonna biggest thing is, what is that going to mean um going forward into the season for him and the Kansas City Chiefs and the NFL? And Mo, honestly, he's going to get some games. I guess it's really more about how many games is he going to get. I do believe that they do not want to take it lightly, because if you give them 4 games, maybe they fight it to get 3-2 or something like that. So I think they're going to start out high. I got 8 games. I got 8 games. We'll see you second half, of the season. Uh, and hopefully this is a lesson to the rest, because other folks are out there now. Other guys have gotten speeding tickets and everything, but it wasn't accidents that were involved. So you caused an accident or were involved in an accident. So that is why I'm thinking, hey, you're going to get 8 games, because it could have been a lot worse situation, out there. So Kansas City going to be out without him for an extended period of time once again. Mo, what you think?
That's the number I fell on. 8 games, and for the exact same reasons. And when Andy Reid came out, of course they asked him about it, and he just real nonchalant. And yeah, we're gonna carry on as if he's here, whatever. When coaches start talking like that, the decision has already been made. He know what's gonna happen. Get him out there, let him get as much reps in as he can, go away for a little while, and hopefully come back in some type of rhythm. But
Mm-hmm.
8 games, 8 games, because yeah, you were involved in an accident, and it is what it is. This is a situation that they have to deal with too often in the NFL. And
Yeah.
to this point, those types of situations, I don't think nobody's really been made an example of. And hopefully they won't start with him. But that's the standard.
Yeah. And it's not exactly the same, but Henry Ruggs, he's serving, years in jail. So even I know he was talking about trying to get out, but even if he get out and try and make a comeback to the NFL, I think those games are still going to be waiting on him, you know,
Yeah.
when he get back. So yeah, it's setting it, trying to set an example, setting a precedent that that's not going to be allowed, and hopefully it deters other people in the future, and hopefully Rasheed can get in some other guys' ears as well, and like, hey, just don't make this mistake, don't do what I did as well.
Yeah.
So all right, let's move into AFC South talk, because we're gonna be talking about that for a tad bit. So we got the Houston Texans, the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Indianapolis Colts, and the Tennessee Titans. An interesting division, to say the least, because all these teams have some type of major question. To me, I feel major questions, but I'll tell you who I think is going to win the division in a moment here, Mo. But I want to start with the Indianapolis Colts, because, and I told you this before, and now that we're talking about the teams, is that Anthony Richardson, he's in a little bit of trouble. He's in a little bit of trouble, because I just believe that they brought in Daniel Jones, and they didn't bring in Daniel Jones just to be a backup quarterback. They already said the competition is open, but I look at Daniel Jones and it's like he does a lot of what you do, Anthony. He may not have the exact cannon that Anthony Richardson got, but he does a lot. And he spent, although it was small, spent some time with the QB whisperer, O'Connell up in Minnesota. And, that's always going to give you, credit because they're going to say, look what you did with Sam Darnold and, and all that stuff. So I think Indianapolis really thing is figuring out this quarterback situation. The new owners of the Colts, which is family members, but, they say he's still in the mix. And I'm like, of course he's still in the mix. He was the 5th overall pick. So you're not just going to give up on him, but trust, we've seen this before where another guy is just like you get the reins for a hot second, you take advantage of it, and then you never see the field again. So, for them, I think that team is ready to go with Pittman and Josh Downs and
Whoever loses this quarterback competition, I think this is going to be pretty much the end of their career. I don't think, especially Daniel
wow.
Jones. Daniel Jones, you're not moving around again. I mean, you are what you are at this point because you're right. This is the exact same quarterback with a slightly better arm for Anthony Richards. But, dude, the fact that they brought in another quarterback to compete for that position, that sends the message to Anthony Richardson. And the fact that we've seen Daniel Jones move around as much as he has and land in Indianapolis. Listen, man, whoever wins this job, you may have a future in the NFL. Whoever loses this job, you're a permanent backup and eventually out the league. That's my opinion.
Wow.
That's my
Permanent
opinion.
backup.
Yep. Come
Oh,
on, man. I mean,
okay.
listen, man, let's be real about it,
Yeah,
man. Come on.
I
Neither one of
respect
these
it.
quarterbacks right now are they really starters in this league? Outside of a team like Indianapolis or, you know, a
I
majority of
think
the
I
teams they would be backups.
I think both of them could be starters on maybe a couple other squads, but I guess it's just figuring out what is it that they do. But the quarterback position is so up and down. So I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Let's touch on the Titans real quick, Mo. Because you were talking about backup quarterback, who was supposed to be a backup quarterback was Will Levis, and he's out for the season now with getting a shoulder surgery, and it is definitely all Cam Ward's at this point. So I'm just going to say with the Tennessee Titans, they are, it's Cam Ward, Cam Ward, Cam Ward. No matter what happens, unless this dude out there throwing 5 pick sixes or whatever, they are going to ride with whatever happens with, Cam Ward going into this season. I think really probably the thing for the Tennessee Titans is going to be maybe what is their run game looking like with Tajay Sharp and Pollard, in that backfield. They had some success, they had some good things, but they didn't as well, a little up and down. Wide receivers, I do like their wide receivers that they have. They got Tyler Lockett from Seattle. You still got Calvin Ridley, who's well, he left he left Jacksonville to go up to Tennessee, but you still got Calvin Ridley, so you got a baller there. I'm not expecting a lot, from them because I do think they kind of hit the reboot button, if you can say that. The team didn't do great last year, but I think you had some good moments there, and they got a tough defense. So I do think this is a reboot, for them. Cam Ward, I'm not putting Jaden Daniels, I think I'm not even gonna
Glad you
say it's
said that.
Caleb Williams. I'm not even gonna say it's Caleb Williams, but I think, it may be closer to it will be closer to a Caleb Williams season than
Mhm.
a Jaden Daniels. And that's not a knock on either one. I mean, Jaden Daniels almost went to the Super Bowl. So I'm not gonna put that on Cam just yet.
Nah, don't do that. Don't do that because he's not him. He's not Jaden Daniels. He won't have that type of season. I think he have a better season than I think he'll have a better first year than Caleb
Caleb.
Williams though. Yeah.
Okay.
It was a weird start for him. But now I think he'll kind of come in and he had a good look at these guys coming before him and I think he'll have a solid season. I got him third place. I'll go ahead and throw my pick out there.
Okay.
Third place in the division.
Um Well, I guess I'll let you choose. Do you want to talk about Houston? Or you want to talk about Jacksonville? Who you want to talk about first?
I mean, let's go ahead and let's go to Jacksonville. I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay,
Because
tell me
right
about it.
now I have Trevor Lawrence as that quarterback that's gonna probably, if you have an award for most improved, that's gonna be him
Comeback
this year.
player.
I've said that the past 2-3 years about him. I'm waiting on him to take that next step, and I don't know what's going on.
You got him as
I'm
comeback
probably going to be
player?
wrong. But I
Okay.
have him. This is his Joe Burrow season. You know, he's going to come back, and he's going to. I ain't even going to say come back, because has he ever really arrived? You know,
That
solid
year that they
start.
made the playoffs, that year
Yeah,
they made the
he had a
playoffs.
solid start for his career, but
Mhm.
I think this season we're going to see the biggest jump in any quarterback is going to be with him, because he got to hit a noise. He got to hit a noise. But if I'm
Mhm.
wrong, then he could be sitting right there with Indianapolis. So
So I like what you're speaking about, because what's the potential? That's the word. The
mhm.
potential for this team, because we were talking. Remember, we were talking actually into last year, but 2 years ago, about how this team was doing. They had just beat the
Mhm.
Chargers, got what's the name fired, and all that stuff. And there was high
Yeah.
expectations going into last year. And that did not happen. So now Doug Peterson is out of there though. You got this new coach in there. I think it's Liam Cohen, if I remember right, in Jacksonville, who we saw what he did with Baker Mayfield
Yeah.
in Tampa, did an excellent job there. So that's going to be the expectation there. But you got a guy like Travis Hunter, you got,
Yeah.
ETN. I think that may be your comeback player on that team. I'm not saying of the NFL, but
They
I
both
think,
will do.
they want him to bounce back. Brian Thomas balled out last year at the wide receiver, position, make them move on from, all the other wideouts that they had. So I'm gonna say, because I know you're probably picking Houston. Houston,
Yeah.
we've got a
Yeah.
problem.
Establish that.
Houston, Houston, we've got a problem,
What kind of problem?
and it's in Jacksonville, Florida. I'm telling you. You better watch out. You better watch out. You better not pout. However that song go. Watch out for
Come on,
Jacksonville,
man.
bro.
You smarter than this, JB. Come
I'm
on, man.
just
I do this every week, and you give me a take that I'm like, okay, JB pretty
Mhm,
sharp. But then
mhm.
you come with one of these. Stop. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
I'm
Go
just
ahead. I'm gonna
telling
let
you.
you finish. I want you to explain.
No, I'm just telling you. As far as with the revamp of a new coach, that breathes a new life, especially if the team was not buying into what the coach was saying. When that message get old, time and time, we've seen those examples. New coach come in, you get, like, again, I heard said Travis Hunter, Trevor. I think he's going to be better than what he was. This team, you had some rookies that played well. You're expecting them to excel again and be better in the second year. I'm just telling you, look out for Jacksonville. Now,
Listen.
may I present my resume as far as like why I'm saying that?
Oh, please.
Did I not say look out for Houston and y'all thought I was crazy a few years back?
I didn't think you were crazy. I think I was one of the few that agreed with you, but go ahead.
I'm just saying I see something
I
is
picked
what
Jacksonville at that time. I remember what you're talking about. I did pick Jacksonville because,
yeah.
like I said, I like the hometown hero, but go ahead.
I'm just saying the lay of the land, how that division is. No one has solidified just running that division like some other teams. So I'm just saying, look out for Jacksonville.
What
I
I'm
I, I haven't said who's going to win the division yet, but I'm just letting you know. Don't take them lightly.
listen, let me help you. Let me help you. I want to
Okay.
help you. I want to help you because I've been where you are right now. I've looked at Jacksonville and I've said, you know what? This team is something special about this team. I hadn't figured it out, and I don't think they figured it out, but it's something special
Mhm,
about this
mhm.
team. They're going to make a move. They're going to make a run. They're going to take a. I had them taking over the conference at some point, being a problem for Kansas City,
Wow.
a few
Okay.
years back.
Mhm.
Clearly, I was wrong. But since then, Houston is so far head and shoulders above any other team in that division right now. The quarterback is one of the best in the league, right?
Mhm.
This team is on pace to become a threat in that conference, period, right? They want to be where the Buffaloes and the Kansas Cities and the Lamar Jackson with the Baltimore Ravens. They want to be that, right? Tennessee, Jacksonville, Indianapolis, they all fighting for last place
Okay.
in that division alone. Come on, man. It's not even, bro. Come on. The best quarterback in that division is going to win every single year. Every single year. They're going to win that
You don't think
division every single year.
so you don't think Trevor Lawrence could be the best quarterback?
I think the jury is out on Trevor Lawrence because
Mhm.
he has the potential, but a lot of players have potential.
Okay.
You know, a lot of players have potential. I tell you what, he got a better chance of being the best quarterback in that division as Daniel Jones does of being
Be
a starting
careful.
quarterback for Indianapolis.
Be careful. Hey, you know you've been on an apology tour recently, all right? So be
I bet I
careful.
won't be apologizing for this one. You serious? You really think CJ? You really think Trevor Lawrence got the potential to be better than CJ?
Yeah.
You serious?
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to end the show now?
No.
Listen, I already got to go back and do some editing. I can go ahead and take that clip and put it out there. You want to go on record? I mean,
I'm
we can
just
do this.
saying.
We can establish this right now. I don't want to ruin your podcast by you putting out a take like that.
I'm just
You believe
saying.
that with all your heart?
Look out for Jacksonville.
Okay.
So I'm telling you.
Awesome.
So, I mean, you
Awesome.
and I already picked Houston, but let me say something about Houston because you're gonna paint the narrative as if I'm just ishing on Houston, and I'm not. I'm not at all. Did they get better? Yes. You got CJ Garner Johnson from the Philadelphia Eagles to go into that, that secondary. You getting, some guys back that was hurt on the defensive side. Even on the offensive side, Nico got hurt a little bit. He dealt with a hamstring. I'm sure he wasn't 100% healthy for that entire year. Tank Dell, he's injured. I just think for with this division, CJ is going to be CJ. CJ Stroud is he's always trying to get better. People will say he took a step back, and I'm like, I'm not the one to say he took a step back. I just think that going into the second season, people presented stuff that he didn't see the first year because nobody, you hadn't played him. You hadn't, you didn't have anything out there. So he can get over that. He can get through that. I believe that. Are we going to get a run game from Joe Mixon and Nick Chubb? Joe Mixon did, in my eyes, he did a really good job last season. Do we get another season, from Joe Mixon? And I like Joe Mixon. I like Joe Mixon. I don't know where Nick Chubb is going to fit, into that, how healthy or how, what is his condition off of that injury that he had? Can he get back? If Nick Chubb can get back to what he was or anywhere close, yeah, that changes things. But I just think it does start with Houston because they're the division champs. But you got to look out for Jacksonville. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Okay.
So you picking Houston to win the division, right?
I'm picking in this order. I got Houston winning the division.
Okay.
Jacksonville,
Okay.
Tennessee, Indianapolis.
So what's the gap? What is it? Jacksonville going to win 4 less games? Like I think it's going to be
I
a
think it's
battle in that
bad. It's a
division.
bad division. It's a bad division with those three teams. Those three teams are not great teams. They're just
Okay.
not. And I mean, you can kind of you really can mix that up however you want to
But
between those last three
your
teams.
divisional opponents are your toughest.
They are. I mean, we've seen the 49ers seen a lot of problems out of Arizona. And I
and
mean,
Seattle.
that it's always that team that we can mark off as a win, and next thing you know, something weird happens.
Okay, so let me also say this because I want to point this out. This is why I'm saying don't discount, and this is why I'm saying don't discount Jacksonville. When the season start, here's how their games go:
Okay.
Rams, Bucks, um, Jags, Titans. Then they play the Ravens, Seahawks, your 49ers, Broncos. Then they play the Jags and the Titans again, the Bills, Colts, Chiefs, Cardinals, Raiders, Chargers, and then Colts. There's some tough games in there, bro.
That's Houston's schedule, right?
That's Houston's schedule.
They built for that
Now,
type of schedule.
but I'm saying it's a tough schedule. That's all. That's what I'm saying. I don't see them just breezing through and winning 14 games in that on that schedule. So I'm gonna go to Jacksonville here. Let me tell you what Jacksonville schedule is. Their schedule is Panthers, Bengals, Texans, 49ers, Chiefs, Seahawks, Rams, Raiders, Texans, Chargers, Cardinals, Titans, Colts, Jets, Broncos, Colts, and Titans. I'm
They could,
saying those are kind of similar, but there are some. I mean, the
they could,
Jets, they could win. Um, Seattle, they could win.
Panthers.
Um, the Raiders, they could win. Like, I'm just saying, I think this is going to be closer than you think it is. I don't think you're giving Jacksonville as much credit, and maybe giving Houston too much credit.
If we're talking about divisional wins, right? We're talking about who's going to win. Look, man, Jacksonville could lose 3/4 of those games off that
Okay.
schedule. They really can't. If Trevor Lawrence comes out and becomes that turnover machine that he can be, then we
Mhm.
got a problem. Again, now I'm not going to backpedal off of what I said earlier. I think this is going to be a great year for him. I think this is the year he get it together. And if he do, I'll come back and I'm still on tour apologizing, right? I'm still on tour apologizing. Listen, my wife just lost a rabbit and I was less than compassionate about it. I've been apologizing all weekend.
Yeah.
I don't mind coming back with that, but
Okay.
I just don't believe it's going to happen. I don't
Okay.
believe it's going to happen. I believe Houston is special. They one of them teams. I just think they
All
are.
right.
I think they one of them teams, man.
Okay. So here's what I'm gonna say. Just out of spite, I'm going with Jacksonville because you're going with Houston.
Don't do that.
Both
You
of
don't
them
have to
still
do
make
that.
both of them still make the playoffs, but Jacksonville wins that division.
The playoffs for you talking
Yeah.
Jacksonville making the playoffs?
Yeah.
It, it's not unrealistic. It's not unrealistic. I'll just say that. It's not probable, but it's not unrealistic.
And if I'm wrong, I'm just gonna say I did it out of spite for Mo, so it's all his
Okay.
fault. So
Listen, I tell you what. If Jack, what's today's date? Today is July 21st.
is it?
That's
Yes,
that's that's the
21st.
day we're filming. If Jacksonville makes the playoffs, I'll come on the
Oh,
show. I'll come on the show with my hat off.
all right,
Fair
all
enough.
right, all right.
Unless you just choose not to invite me. I'll come back to the
Oh
Wait a
no!
Minute show with no
If,
hat on.
if Jacksonville wins, you will definitely be
No.
on this show.
If Jacksonville makes the playoffs,
Yes,
I will come on the show hatless.
yes. Okay,
All right? Fair
it's a
enough?
bet. Yeah,
I'll just make some camera adjustments to, kind of work it out.
for your sake. Now I'm
But I'm
hoping
not going to have to do
Jacksonville
that.
don't make it.
It's not going to happen. You know I don't lose a lot of bets, JB. You know I'm not wrong about a lot.
Uh,
I'm usually
is
right.
it- all right,
You can't think of nothing on here I've been wrong about. So
all right. Cool.
give me that.
Cool. Well,
We'll see.
we'll see. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Next week we'll be talking about another division because we got to keep this thing rolling, get all the divisions out before the regular season start. And next time, I'm sure me and Mo is not going to agree, on the next division. So who knows what the next bet might be. But the only way to find out is tuning in to the show. Again, appreciate you for watching. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and turn on those notifications. So I'm going to holler at y'all later. Two things as always. Stay positive and push forward. Peace.